Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So me and Ali was having a chat about the way things are going with the man trying to get cars off the road. It was that Grant Shapps, the Ministry of Transport. He's like hates modified cars, all that sort of thing. You know, with us being proper car people, we don't really have much of an interest in the two-wheel variety, motorcycles, motorbikes. It's more of a case of we just never bothered. I mean, Ali, yeah, he's like been into scooters and whatnot, but we basically come up with this thing where if you want to go fast in the future, you're gonna have to do it on bikes. It's the only way. So I thought, well, let's give it a go then. I mean, when I was at school, all I wanted to do was cars.
Cars.
And all my mates had motorbikes, and they'd gone like to motorbikes, two-strokes. Didn't interest me at all. I don't know why. Guess if it had done, and I'd got motorbikes when I was younger, I'd probably be dead by now. I don't think I'd have made it. So now I'm like approaching 50. I think it's probably a good time. I'm more sensible now than I used to be. I used to, in a car years ago, I was a bit of a madden. Oh yeah. Back in the 90s. But now I'm all calm. I think now is, yeah. So this is what I did. That's what I did. Obviously I got straight on eBay and bought this Yamaha YBR 125. Seemed like a good bike to start with. Obviously this one was written off, which is why I got it cheap, because you know I'm not paying full retail for something when I can get something cheap and fix it. So that's what I did. It'd been dropped quite heavily, just put it back together. Boy liked it. Now, having never worked on a motorbike before, I found it really easy to work on. It was like, oh my god, why have I never done this before? Yeah, a doddle, take apart, put together, just a joy to work on in a nice warm environment. You do something on it and then you go, oh, I haven't got to do the other side. So the handlebars were a bit bent, so I changed them, and the grips cleans up quite nice. And this is probably the reason that it got wrote off, because of that dodgy tyre that turned out to be older than the bike. I don't know how that works. It's a 2007 bike with a 2005 tyre. Bridgestone, brand new, lovely. And then I put some graphics on it, you know, because I didn't get a red one. If you know, you know. And so the next job was to get a CBT, compulsory basic training. And that's the first step on the road to getting a motorbike licence in the UK. So with that £150 piece of paper obtained, the next thing I needed to do was get a bit of experience. And a few miles later, I was getting bored and I needed more. And 1 week and £23 later, I'd passed my motorcycle theory test. So it was back to the riding school, and then I go on this Kawasaki ER6. And let me tell you, once you've ridden a 600, you don't want to go back to a 125, that's for sure. I'd already kind of made my mind up that I wanted a Yamaha FZS 600 because they seemed to be a pretty good all-rounder. It was my era of bike and I just fancied it, thought it looked good. So after a good stint on the old ER6 for a while, I was under the supervision of Rev and Ride, which was my local riding school. I was then able to pass my Mod 1 test, and then a short time later, my Mod 2 test. And that was it. I was now a motorbikeist. How much from start to finish? From no bike to full licence, about 959 quid, give or take. Time-wise, about 5 months because of holidays and the DVSA, when you can get in for a test, when you can get in for a theory test, all that kind of stuff. In that time, I'd been out on eBay and I'd bought this for a very reasonable price, I've got to say. It had a year's MOT, but it did need some work doing. And I will do another video just on this bike and what I've done to it and what I'm going to do to it over the winter. That'll be in part 2, I guess. Come back, or I'll cry in a corner, or I probably won't be bothered. I don't care. Do what you want.